What if the biggest royal story of the year isn't another feud, but a father's silent promise? As rumours continue to swirl about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's marriage, a surprising report claims King Charles has made one thing absolutely clear. No matter what happens, the door to his son has never been closed. After years of public heartbreak, explosive interviews, and one of the deepest family rifts in modern royal history, could compassion, not conflict, be shaping the king's next move? Today, we're exploring the reports, separating fact from speculation, and asking whether King Charles is proving that true leadership begins at home. Before we begin, if you enjoy royal commentary that goes beyond the headlines, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest royal updates. For years, headlines have focused on the growing distance between King Charles and Prince Harry. Since the Duke and Duchess of Sussex stepped away from royal duties, the family has endured interviews, documentaries, memoirs, and endless speculation about whether reconciliation is even possible. Many believed the relationship had reached a point of no return, but new reports suggest there may be another side to the story. According to unnamed sources quoted in recent media reports, King Charles has continued watching events unfold from a respectful distance rather than responding publicly. These reports also claim that the king has quietly left the door open should Prince Harry ever need guidance or support. While Buckingham Palace has not commented and these claims remain unverified, they align with a pattern Charles has displayed throughout his reign, choosing restraint over retaliation. Instead of fueling public drama, he has largely focused on his constitutional responsibilities while allowing private family matters to remain exactly that, private. For many supporters of the monarchy, that restraint speaks volumes. What makes these reports particularly compelling is the suggestion that King Charles is drawing upon his own life experience. Long before ascending the throne, Charles lived through one of the most publicized marriages and divorces in modern history. Every disagreement, every rumor, and every emotional moment became front-page news across the world. Unlike most families, there was little opportunity for privacy or quiet reflection. Every decision was debated by commentators, interpreted by experts, and scrutinized by millions. Few people understand the weight of living under that level of attention better than the king himself. According to the reported insider accounts, Charles believes that relationships often look very different behind closed doors than they do in newspaper headlines. That perspective is significant because it acknowledges something many people can relate to. Public perception rarely tells the full story. Families experience challenges that outsiders never see, and speculation can easily become accepted as fact despite limited evidence. If these reports accurately reflect the king's thinking, they suggest that he is approaching the situation with caution rather than rushing to conclusions based solely on media narratives. Importantly, the reports do not claim that King Charles wants Prince Harry and Meghan's marriage to fail. On the contrary, the sources suggest he sincerely hopes they overcome whatever pressures they may be facing. However, they also portray him as someone realistic enough to recognize that even strong relationships can struggle when subjected to constant public attention, commercial pressures, and global scrutiny. Rather than celebrating difficulties or assigning blame, the reported message appears rooted in compassion and understanding. That approach may also reflect how Charles has evolved over the years. Having experienced personal hardship himself, he understands that advice is most valuable when it is offered without judgment. According to the reports, he is not positioning himself as someone with all the answers. Instead, he simply wants Harry to know that if life ever becomes overwhelming, his father remains willing to listen. Whether that moment ever comes is impossible to predict, but the willingness to offer support without conditions speaks to a quiet confidence that many supporters believe has become one of the king's defining qualities. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of these reports isn't the speculation surrounding Harry and Meghan's relationship. It is the message reportedly coming from the king himself. According to unnamed sources, Charles wants Prince Harry to know there would be no judgment if he ever reached out. No public criticism, no list of demands. simply a father prepared to listen if his son needed guidance during a difficult period. Whether such conversations have taken place privately is impossible to verify, but the idea itself has resonated because it reflects something deeply familiar. Many families experience periods of distance. Arguments become prolonged, misunderstandings grow larger over time, and before long, years can pass with very little meaningful communication. Yet despite those divisions, many parents continue hoping for reconciliation. They may disagree with their children's choices, but that doesn't necessarily diminish their love or concern. Supporters of King Charles often point to this distinction. Being available to someone is not the same as agreeing with every decision they have made. Parents can disapprove of certain actions while still wanting the best for their children. If these reports are accurate, they suggest the king has separated those two ideas. He can acknowledge the difficulties of the past while remaining open to the possibility of a better future. This approach also reflects the role Charles now occupies as both father and monarch. As king, he must protect the stability and reputation of the institution he represents. As a father, however, his responsibilities are far more personal. Balancing those two roles has never been easy, particularly when family disagreements become international news. Yet by reportedly leaving the door open, Charles appears to be recognizing that reconciliation cannot happen unless someone is willing to keep the possibility alive. Perhaps that is why the story has attracted so much attention. In an age where public disputes often escalate quickly and positions become entrenched, the image of someone choosing patience over confrontation feels increasingly rare. Whether or not reconciliation eventually happens, maintaining hope rather than bitterness may ultimately prove to be one of the king's quietest strengths. The reports also make an important distinction. They suggest King Charles understands that he cannot advise Harry on Hollywood projects, media ventures, or commercial partnerships. Those are decisions Harry and Meghan must make themselves. Their lives today are very different from the traditional path followed by working members of the royal family, and Charles reportedly recognizes that those choices belong entirely to them. Where the king believes he may still have something meaningful to offer, according to the reports, is in the area of relationships and family. Decades spent navigating personal challenges, public expectations, and institutional responsibility have given him experiences that few people share. Those experiences do not make him perfect, but they may provide perspective during difficult moments. Rather than attempting to direct Harry's life, the reports suggest he would simply offer the benefit of experience if asked. This measured attitude has become increasingly associated with Charles throughout his reign. While public debates surrounding the royal family have often become highly emotional, the king has generally avoided responding to every criticism or rumor. Instead, he has focused on constitutional duties, overseas diplomacy, charitable initiatives, and maintaining continuity within the monarchy. Supporters argue that this disciplined approach reflects an understanding that not every disagreement requires a public response. There is also a broader lesson here about leadership itself. In today's fast-moving media environment, there is often pressure to react immediately to every headline. Yet experienced leaders sometimes understand that silence can communicate confidence just as effectively as words. Choosing not to engage publicly does not necessarily indicate indifference. Sometimes it reflects a deliberate decision to avoid making an already difficult situation even more complicated. If these reports are accurate, King Charles appears to be applying that same philosophy within his own family. Rather than seeking publicity or attempting to shape public opinion, he is reportedly content to let private matters remain private, while quietly reminding his son that support remains available. That combination of patience, restraint, and compassion is one reason many people continue to view him as a stabilizing figure during uncertain times. Perhaps that is why this story has captured so much attention around the world. At its heart, it isn't simply about kings, princes, or royal titles. It reflects experiences that many ordinary families understand all too well. Relationships can become strained. Misunderstandings can grow over time. Pride, distance, and changing circumstances sometimes leave people wondering whether reconciliation is still possible. For that reason, many people see more than just a royal headline when reading these reports. They see a reminder that family relationships are rarely straightforward. Even after painful disagreements, many parents continue hoping that one day communication will resume. Likewise, many children eventually realize that time has changed both themselves and their parents. Stories like this resonate because they touch on emotions that extend far beyond palace walls. It is equally important, however, to separate confirmed facts from speculation. Claims that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are living very separate lives remain unverified. Neither the Duke nor the Duchess has publicly confirmed those reports, and no official statement has been issued by Buckingham Palace regarding the claims. Responsible discussion requires recognizing that media reports based on unnamed sources should not be treated as established fact. Regardless of the accuracy of the speculation surrounding Harry and Meghan's relationship, the reported attitude attributed to King Charles has become the central focus of this story. According to those reports, his priority is not assigning blame or revisiting old disagreements, but ensuring that his son knows support would be available if needed. That message reflects a belief that family bonds can survive even prolonged periods of disagreement. Ultimately, whether reconciliation happens is a decision that rests entirely with the individuals involved. No commentator, journalist, or royal observer can determine the future of those relationships. But if these reports accurately reflect the king's thinking, they offer a perspective rooted in patience rather than resentment. In a world where divisions often seem permanent, the simple act of refusing to close the door completely may be one of the most hopeful messages to emerge from this ongoing royal story. History will eventually judge King Charles for his reign, his constitutional leadership, and the changes he has brought to the monarchy. But beyond the crown lies another role that is equally important, that of a father navigating extraordinary family challenges under unprecedented public scrutiny. Whether Prince Harry ever chooses to seek his father's advice remains entirely his decision. Reconciliation cannot be forced, and no one outside the family truly knows what conversations may already have taken place. Yet if these recent reports accurately reflect the king's thinking, they reveal a man who believes hope should never be abandoned. Instead of allowing disappointment to become permanent division, he appears willing to leave room for healing whenever the time is right. In a world that often rewards conflict, that quiet patience may become one of King Charles's most enduring strengths. As always, these reports are based on claims from unnamed sources and should be viewed with appropriate caution until confirmed by those directly involved. But if they are true, they reveal a side of King Charles that many people rarely see. A father who continues to place compassion above conflict and family above headlines. What do you think? Has King Charles shown remarkable patience throughout this difficult chapter, or do you believe more could have been done to repair the relationship with Prince Harry? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and turn on the notification bell. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.